Hey Adam, this is a quick demo video for you for your Phoenix props, the light. I got it all done tonight. So you asked, so initially you asked for some light weathering. I went at it with some hesitation, but then you gave me the reins to go full out. So I did put what I feel like is a nice weathering job on this guy, all the way down. A little lighter on the handle because I figured that's where it would get the most wear from the hand. So it gets dark here, it gets light about here where the hand would be, and then darker towards the bottom, and then try to hit that engine up a little bit too. I chose not to go red here. I just went ahead and weathered it. I didn't have a red that I felt did it justice, so left it at the original weathering that I showed you the other day. We're going to go a little backwards on this one. Normally I start off and I show you the empty hilt, I show you the install, and then I put a battery in and go through the features. Because it's so involved to get in this thing, we're going to go through the features first and show you that everything works, and then we'll go through taking the actual Saber apart so you can see what's on the inside. So you and I talked about a removable battery, which you do have in here, and then you want a recharge port. We were thinking you'd have to take this off to get to the recharge port until I saw this. When I saw that this cap unscrewed, I knew that we could do better. So I put your recharge port right there, and then you get your kill key right there. I can't quite get it out with my finger, but if I take a pair of tweezers right here and just pull on this, maybe. I got a small pair of pliers here too. And then pull your kill key right out, and then you can screw this right back on. So that's an easy way to get to your recharge port. I made your front button here your activation. Stock Neopixels. See them off. You can't see them in there because I got your blade plug in. Was testing out your blade plug. Chose not to weather your blade plug because I wasn't sure what you wanted to do with it, but we can take that out real quick. While we're taking it, this is a solid acrylic piece, or I would have cut it down. Normally I would cut these to fit flush inside your blade chamber, but this is solid, so I left that alone. You did have, or you still do, but it doesn't work very well, a blade retention screw right in between here. That barely bit into the blade. So what I did is I went out on the drill press, I put you a blade retention screw right at the very tip, so that way you've got a good 2 inches up on that blade before it bites down, and you could really swing this guy if that's what you wanted to do. I don't have a full length 1-inch blade, but I do have a test blade that we'll put in there. But I just wanted you to see your stock Neopixels in there. And we'll put the test blade in, lock it down, and then it's really snug. It's a nice fit, plenty of blade in there before the blade retention screw bites down. I'm going to turn this light off. And then your front part of your pill box here is your activation. And then of course your auxiliary right here. And then you change fonts with your auxiliary.
Smooth Jedi. Smooth Gray. Smooth Fuzz.
You can hear the sound coming out there. Sounds really nice. So you can see it does have the stock package on it because you said that you would upload your own fonts yourself. So Everything's working on there. Stock package, latest firmware for the Proffie board. And I'll just put your blade retention screw back in. Blade retention screw is black. Set screw is black, so it matches your weathering, so it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. You can actually screw that all the way in. That's about how far it will be in when you have a blade engaged, maybe a little bit further down. But now I'm going to put the kill key back in it. You can put the kill key in it just with your finger. And then we will take this pommel off so that you can see what I did on the inside. And it just pops it in right there. Just like that. And then we'll slide this back on. So as you know, there are 3 screws holding this pommel on. You've got this guy, and then this guy. So we're going to take these off real quick. This is what would have made it unacceptable to get to the recharge port if we had to do this every time. So I went a little bit different than I usually do on a lot of my chassis. One more. So as you know, when you take this pommel off, you want to take this pommel off, this piece, this shroud right here actually slides that way. We're going to take the pommel off first, just like that, and put that off to the side. I'm going to slide your pommel off, or your shroud off, just like that, and put that off to the side, and then I'm going to explain to you what I did. Here's your board here. White Proffie 2.2 by KR Sabers. I bought this from Saber Bay, but I like these boards. This does have a Proffie adapter in there to hold the board down, but I did not glue it so that you could pop this up at any time and reload your fonts or whatever you wanted to put back on it, and then just use, you could see the 2 pieces of heat tape that I put on there on the front and back to hold the board in place. And then here's your battery. So we'll pop your battery out real quick. So you do have removable battery. If you can see it, I actually modeled in a positive and a negative sign in the battery chamber, so you know what battery orientation, in case you in case the spring wasn't obvious, that the spring is your negative side of your battery. So we got that in there. If you can see it right here, it's a 28mm bass speaker. It's a Smuggler's Outpost bass speaker. I have that little cutout right there that allowed me to install the speaker from right here and then put it back in and lock it in place. And then in the very end is where I brought out an arm for your recharge port. So you can see half of it is exposed, and then the other half is just an arm that I brought out to hold everything in. And then I put sound venting on the end of this guy, so that because your speaker is sitting right here, your sound obviously is going to come here. Some of it will escape here, but the rest of it will escape out of these sound venting holes right here. Just like that. And then of course your buttons here, activation, auxiliary, these are not glued in. I didn't find a reason to have to glue these in. Phoenix Props did a really good job at matching the correct dimensions of these buttons. So of course there's shrink tube everywhere that needs to have it, but there's shrink tube on here that so the wires don't conflict with your hilt, and then it holds it in there really snug. I mean, those things aren't falling out. You really have to try to pick at them to get them out. But anyway, sir, that is your hilt, Proffie, removable battery, recharge port. Hope you enjoy. Thanks.